It seems video is kind of slowly taking over the entire internet.
It is.
Is that accurate?
It's very accurate and at a very rapid pace.
Welcome to Barbell Business. I'm Mike Bledsoe here with Doug Larson, Markus Gerszi, and our guest is Justin Ross, returning. It wasn't even a year ago, was it?
No, last July.
Maybe, 9 months ago, from Monkey Reel Media. Last time we talked a lot about how you can set up testimonials and just things you need to be considering in regard to video when running your box. And I guess a lot of things have changed, especially, two things have changed that I'm aware of, and you'll probably make me aware of a lot more. Well, one is we're looking at Facebook. And the way Facebook is treating videos is different.
Absolutely.
So, and then the other thing is we're just going to get deeper into actually having how to set up testimonial videos. So you're going to walk us through step by step exactly what it looks like. So you'll want to watch this entire bit. What you don't want to do is just listen, because you're going to want to watch the last half of this at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It seems video is kind of slowly taking over the entire internet.
Is
that accurate?
It's very accurate and at a very rapid pace. And I think Facebook is at kind of the helm of that. They are, shortly after I was last on, executives from Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, announced that they expect in the next 3 to 4 years that it's going to be a predominantly video platform. And they're basing it on, what they're seeing in terms of trends. People are sharing videos at a very high rate. It's what you mostly see on your newsfeed at this point. And they're actually trying to promote quality content, not just anybody's video. They're looking at, the track of, are you staying, is somebody watching your video to the end? And in fact, to reinforce that, about a month ago, they announced that they're actually going to be starting to promote longer videos, because they're finding that it doesn't matter if you have a 5-6 minute video, if people are watching, and a large amount of people are watching to the end, they want to help spread that organic reach. And this is, aside from from a business point of view, putting a sponsored ad behind it, putting money behind it, they want to help it organically reach more people, because they're deeming it as a quality video. So it's going to reach the top that much faster.
How do you think that'll play out for people that are trying to share high-quality content, high-quality information? Like a CrossFit gym would be sharing how to do movements, or what their programs are like, et cetera, et cetera. How are they going to compete against people that are just like fucking pure, hilarious entertainment? Like, do you blend the two together, or does Facebook prioritize the good content over the entertainment, or vice versa? Do you have any insight into that?
No insight in that. I don't know what what specifically what types of videos they're promoting over others. It's just
mostly cat videos.
Cat videos.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, short, hilarious memes. You're gonna get to the end of the video easier, and it's funny, so it's gonna appeal to a higher number of people. Like, it's very hard to compete with if you're someone who, as a business owner, is trying to recruit a very small demographic and give them high quality information. Competing against funny cat memes is like impossible.
Why bother?
Why
bother?
Yeah, they base it on so many things. You're, from a business standpoint, if you're using their on the business side of things, the video ads and stuff like that, they're basing on who you're targeting and keywords and everything like that. But they haven't really revealed how they're being distinct with what they're promoting. It's just they're looking for quality content.
It seems the Facebook Live content is very highly prioritized with their algorithm.
Absolutely. And when that first launched, I thought it was going to be, they're going to start charging people at some point, because I saw the spread, like the reach they gave you organically just from like a 30-second live video. And I'm like, they're going to start charging for that soon. And they haven't. And I highly recommend taking advantage of that too, because, they're allowing those live videos. They really want people on it. To the extent of they just launched it on Instagram. So, they really want people on the live video as well.
Yeah, I find it's a pretty massive opportunity for especially a small business to really hit a massive audience pretty easily.
Absolutely.
So what have you been seeing people do, because you're specialized in working with gym owners and helping them create good-looking content.
Correct.
What have you been seeing people do with Facebook Live?
Facebook Live, it's usually kind of like quick updates, or I've seen from the CrossFit side of things, they'll announce a WOD or something on a Facebook Live post. But yeah, usually just something quick and engaging. We don't do too much of kind of consulting in the Facebook Live area. You can certainly utilize some of the tips and strategies that we give for a Facebook Live video. But yeah, we're seeing a whole bunch of different things in that area.
Awesome. So for those who maybe are just jumping on the podcast and didn't catch the original episode, tell us a little bit about what you do exactly with Monkey Rail.
So Monkey Rail Media, we are a creative video company that helps to elevate the marketing and branding of gyms through compelling video. It starts with we consult you on a monthly basis. It's a monthly membership program. Consult you on a monthly basis on the types of videos that are working best for gym owners, how to implement effective and very easy to apply production tips that are going to instantly create a more professional looking video. And then we take the more time consuming part of the video production process off your hands by providing full editing services. And that's everything from color and audio correction. We take your logo and any kind of branding you have and make a really cool intro and outro video to be consistent with all your videos. We add royalty-free music, but ultimately making it a powerful, effective video for what you're trying to utilize it for, whether it be marketing, operational purposes, anything in between.
We were talking about this earlier when we were having breakfast. You guys do something that if you were to do it on your own as a gym owner, you likely would just do like a coach's bio or like a walkthrough of the gym or like little tips. It's nothing sexy, but that's better than nothing. But in your guys' case, very often you'll craft a story that the gym owner wouldn't necessarily be able to do on their own. You were just saying like adding music to the background and then interspersing little clips of someone talking, whether it's testimonials or whether it's the gym owner doing the walkthrough of the gym. You can clip all that together and make a story out of the whole production, where a gym owner would likely not be able to do that on their own.
Yeah, so a proper way to edit a video and really tell a story is picking the right elements to show at the right time so that it's going to attract a viewer's attention right from the get-go. Let's say, for an example, it's a testimonial. It's choosing the right, the best feedback in the right sequence, utilizing it with the best B-roll that you can to complement the visuals, music, and everything in between, and making sure it's at that right time frame. It's all those elements that is what's gonna really kind of inspire or connect with somebody.
For someone that's not in the video world, they might not even know what B-roll is. B-roll is just kind of the behind-the-scenes footage. It's pictures of someone snatching while you're talking over it.
Correct.
And things like that.
Cutaway shots so that it's not talking head the entire time. It's just stuff that we can basically layer over and just make it that much more engaging and dynamic.
Right. So if you say it's high intensity functional fitness, you show people doing push-ups and burpees and pull-ups in the background. That way they're seeing what you're talking about.
Yep. Correlates to what they're saying. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it makes you look very pro.
Extremely. Yeah.
So with your experience over the last 8-9 months since we last spoke, I know you started working with quite a few of the people that we also work with.
Absolutely.
Helping them really kind of share their message and create richer content for them. What do you think is working best at the moment for CrossFit affiliates and them really helping them acquire members and just build ongoing value for their existing member base? What are some trends and things that you've seen be really effective?
Yep. So, the staples are always going to be those client testimonials. We love coach bios, just revealing little personality behind your staff. We welcome videos, movement tips. Those are always going to be the staples that if these gym owners don't have any video currently in their marketing, on their website, social media, we always stress to focus on those first. But outside of that, we've been doing some really cool different types of videos, taking from certain areas of the ones I mentioned. In the world of testimonials, we've been doing some really cool couples testimonials. So it's basically focusing on couples in your gym. Every gym has them, whether they signed up there together or, one got the other to sign up or, they ultimately motivate each other to be a part of this fitness element. It's really cool to kind of get a mashup of responses. So you would do it in a normal testimonial fashion where you ask them some questions, but obviously what this evokes is, what working out and kind of being in a fitness routine does to a relationship. And it's really cool to kind of show a mashup of responses, what their story was, and think about it from a relationship standpoint. If somebody's watching that maybe, them and their significant other don't work out, or the husband's trying to convince the wife to work out for the longest time. How inspiring is it to see that other people are doing it? This is how they did it. This is their story, and it's just a great thing to use in your marketing.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really cool, and
Yeah.
it immediately got my gears spinning on, when you have certain client types that are contacting you, and it's like, oh, your wife's going to be joining us, or they do come in together. They're in a relationship. These are the types of things you can now build into your follow-up funnels or into your pre-intro funnels to make sure people are getting context of the right story and the true value of what's really possible, rather than just they're going to sell me a gym membership. It's like, oh, you and your wife were interested? Perfect. Now I know they're going to get sales follow-up B, which has my couple stuff in it.
Absolutely, using a strategy behind it. It's perfect.
Very cool.
So when a gym owner's making video, there's got to be a certain number of things that they kind of consistently get wrong. Not just gym owners, but just anyone that's trying to do professional video for their business. Poor lighting, bad audio, you can't hear it. Not being able to hear what the person's saying has got to be the worst, I would think. But what are some of the most common things that people screw up when they're trying to make video?
Not being aware of their surroundings. So from a visual standpoint, just something distracting in the background. Maybe too much movement. I often see, choosing your background is the first step, and we'll go into that in the setup. But first instinct seems to be, having somebody stand up against a wall where there might be, a branding or a sign or something. That's like your natural instinct is put in front of that, and it doesn't look great. It's a very one-dimensional shot, and also if you're using any kind of lighting, you often run the risk of casting shadows and stuff on the wall. It just doesn't look good. So I always say, bring them out towards, kind of in front of a training cage, or just add some elements behind them to where it's not really distracting, but you could tell it's a gym. It's, revealing a little bit of personality behind your facility, but your subject should really be the forefront of the video.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I see that most commonly, definitely on the sound end. Like you said, people aren't conscious of what they hear. Maybe you're so used to it. There's a lot of ambient noises in gyms, whether it be, ideally if you can turn the music off. I know it's sometimes our gym owners have to film, if it's testimonial, they have to grab somebody quickly on the side before or after class, or maybe there's people around, training, whatever the case is. But try to limit ambient noise, because what you hear in your ears is very different than what you hear through or what the mic picks up. The mic is much more sensitive to sound.
Now, on that note, a lot of people are starting to shoot with their phones.
Oh, yeah.
Much more frequently, right? It's not as necessary to go and spend $1,000 on a fancy DSLR.
Most of our clients shoot on an iPhone or a smartphone, because at this point it's 1080 and up, and just adding a couple elements like a very basic light kit, a tripod obviously for interview stuff, and a basic lavalier mic. It makes a world of a difference in your videos.
How much does that cost? And I do know that some of that stuff, we've rented stuff in the past. Do you recommend renting, or is everything cheap enough just to buy, and what does that cost?
Absolutely cheap enough to buy. We actually put together a gear guide on specific items that a lot of our clients are using. It's a tripod, an adapter for your phone. It's a lavalier mic. It's a 3-point light kit. And those elements, I think everything was like $230, $240.
Sweet.
Well, most of the
You mind
stuff
if we
you can
share
get on
that?
Amazon.
You mind if we share that with our audience?
Yeah, absolutely.
Killer.
Yeah.
So basically, for under $250 with your phone, you can shoot like pretty pro level, or at least
Absolutely.
pro enough to make your business look good and professional online.
Absolutely. Completely stand out from just amateur looking, just holding up your phone in front of somebody. World of a difference.
Yeah, for the record, that's not going to be like a one-time thing. You're not going to spend that money and then do something one time. Like, you're probably going to need to make video like every week, every month, every 2 months, depending on how much video you really want to make. Like, if you do a testimonial, you're going to want to have, first of all, a group of testimonials, not just like one or two. Ideally, you'd have like a dozen testimonials on your site, and then some of those people eventually are gonna, they're gonna quit their memberships. You might take their testimonial down, then you want to do another one. Like, it's gonna be a constant thing. You're gonna have to consistently make new videos, and so this is an investment that you're gonna keep using this equipment for a long time. So a couple $100 to use for years is not very much money.
Not at all. And the type of setup that I'm going to show you today is going to be applicable for probably 90% of the videos that you're going to consider doing, and definitely most of the videos that we are doing with our clients right now. So you'll absolutely get your money's worth.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean that kind of ties together what we started with, which is the whole direction Facebook is going and content. You should be shooting like you should be shooting video regularly
Oh,
as
yeah.
part of just your content strategy. It's not so much about just cranking out, the blog content. Obviously, that's great for other reasons, but if you really want engagement, you should be creating real-time videos that are relevant, not just that are marketing tools, but just as part of your social strategy. So getting some basic stuff like this in place, where you're like, okay, cool, we're going to do this quick update for our weekly thing. Set yourself up. 15 minutes later, it actually looks and sounds good, so people want to engage.
Yep. If you have a good-looking image coupled with like actually good content, that like what you have going on in the video is good, that is a very powerful combo. But absolutely, video should not be one and done. We're at this point in 2017. Video is about 3/4 of internet traffic. So, and it's just going to keep ramping and exploding, especially across social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As far as editing goes, is there any kind of cheap, easy pieces of software and/or tips you could give people that want to do some very basic editing on their own?
Very basic editing. You can, iMovie, that's always a pretty straightforward one. Windows Movie Maker, they have a bunch of different apps right now that you can basically add in effects and do some basic editing on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are basically what's readily, easily available for you to just upload your footage to and do some editing on.
Yeah, right. You could use a couple of basic online tutorials on how to use iMovie.
Yep.
And the basic stuff you're going to learn here, and you can start cranking out great-looking content easily.
Yep.
Sweet.
I know a lot of times people ask me for a testimonial, and they'll send me a message saying, hey, can you just do a testimonial for that thing, that workshop you did over the weekend? And then that's it.
Yeah.
And it's highly unlikely that I'm actually going to do a testimonial because I was given zero direction.
Yep.
How do you give people direction and to create a good testimonial?
So testimonials and even other videos, we provide monthly consulting. So we walk you through how to create these types of videos, and you're just handling the filming process. We do all the post-production on our end, but we give everything from the questions you should be asking, and actually that's something we have in a guide for you guys, how to put together a little more detail on what we're going to be putting together out there, but also the right questions that you should be asking for your client testimonials that are eliciting the best emotion out of them. So we usually give them, depending on the video, we'll give them some questions. If it's a coach bio, we've got questions for that, help reveal the most personality. If it's a client testimonial, it's always kind of a few different phases. It's establishing the background, why they came to your gym, what kind of frustrations they had in the past. It's, since they've joined, the mental, the physical benefits that they've experienced. We have some questions that kind of elicit them to talk about the culture and the community of the gym. That's always a really important one to focus on. And then, would they recommend this to somebody else? Where do they see their journey moving forward? So those are usually like the basic elements that you focus on. And we have some very detailed questions for anybody who wants to use it.
Yeah, perfect. It's kind of just like a past, present, future, before, during, after kind of setup.
Oh yeah,
like to really oversimplify it.
Yep. And of course, these are questions to kind of guide the answers out of them. But your members, or you should know your members, and if there's anything else that you feel like they might be reserved on, but they should try to elaborate on, they might have a good story or something, or significant achievement in the gym. Mm-hmm. It's okay to without being too aggressive, just coax them into talking and elaborate on it. This video is meant to inspire others. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what was your favorite time that you lost 50 pounds in 5 months?
Yeah, very random questions like that. Just completely random.
Gently leading them to paint a picture. Very cool. Well, I think we're about to take a break here. Can you give us a little bit of a just quick summary of what we're going to be doing here in the next segment in the show? Absolutely.
So we're setting up an interview-style shot, and this, like I said, is going to be applicable for so many types of videos that you're going to create. It involves establishing a background, so choosing a background in your facility, setting up your camera, in this case our iPhone, a tripod, a 3-point light kit, which is a 3-piece light kit that you can, again, buy on Amazon. You could create for half the price with things you could buy at Home Depot, and a lavalier mic. That's literally it, and it makes a world of a difference and gives a nice cinematic look.
So the second half of the show here for the audio listeners in the crowd is going to be very how-to in the gym. He's going to be showing the setup and how it all works and where to put the lighting and how to position the person who's on the testimonial vid. It's a how-to tutorial, basically. And so if you're just listening, you're not really going to get the full story. So this is where you probably should go to Barbell Business and actually watch the video rather than just listening to the audio, or you're really going to miss it.
Yeah, and in that case, where can people find you?
monkeyrailmedia.com. A lot of our information is on that. Instagram, Monkey Rail Media. Facebook, same thing. And our YouTube channel, just YouTube, Monkey Rail Media. You'll see our channel. We post a lot of our videos that we're making with our clients right now, from testimonials to welcome videos, coach bios, everything in between. We post all of our cool and exciting stuff there.
And for the record, between the clients that we have referred to you, has probably been one of the most. They have come back to me specifically to say thank you for that referral. That was actually even better than I thought it would be. So great job, man. You've been kicking ass.
Thank you.
I've been watching you grow a ton over the last 8-9 months since we had you on last. And the feedback from our clients and what it's done for their content strategy, making their websites look like $1 million, has been phenomenal. So keep up the great work. And if you're listening to this,
Thank you. Likewise.
and you have not checked it out yet, make sure you head over to monkeyrailmedia.com.
Yep.
And we'll have the downloads and all that on the website. But check it out, because it's a very cost-effective way to look like $1 million. So
Cool.
Definitely.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
cool.
All right, so we're going to go over an interview style setup. Again, this is applicable to so many different types of videos that you could be making, from most commonly client testimonials, welcome videos, coach bios, anything where there is someone in frame, direct to camera, or directly off being interviewed by somebody. This one style setup is applicable for all those types of videos, and it will instantly make a huge difference in creating a more professional look.
Perfect.
So basically involves a few different steps. First is establishing a background, and I'll go over that in a second. Besides that, tripod, very basic tripod. Most of our clients are not using any kind of heavy-duty camera equipment, so they don't need to really support a lot of weight, but very basic tripod that's going to hold a cell phone, or commonly a GoPro. So that's basically the setup. The attachment to hold on the iPhone, you can basically purchase. They make these little tripod setups with this attachment, or you could buy it completely separate. But it basically allows you to attach any size smartphone. It's adjustable. The tripod, getting back to that for a second, one thing you do want to have is a video style tripod, where this is actually going to allow us to kind of pan and tilt and add some movement to our shots, maybe more commonly B-roll. So besides that, so we've got our tripod, camera, we're going to choose a background, and a 3-piece light kit. So what you see here, these are soft boxes, and they come in usually more commonly kits of 3, and they are fluorescent lighting. They give off a more natural color temperature, similar to daylight, but fluorescent lights, and they usually come with everything: stands, the soft boxes themselves, the fluorescent lights. Everything pretty much ready to go. So once these are set up, this will be our 3-point lighting technique, which I'll go into. Lastly, you'll need is a lavalier mic. We have this clipped on to mic right now. They make these in a bunch of different versions. I will go into why I typically recommend lavalier mics over what you also see, shotgun mics, which mount to the top of a camera. I'll go into why we suggest lavalier mics for our clients. It's just more directional with the audio, but I'll elaborate on that. So like I said, first setup is choosing your background. As I mentioned earlier, the more common thing for people to naturally want to do is set up their client testimonial, whoever's going to be talking in camera, in front of a wall or in front of some kind of poster or banner. You definitely want to create some depth and dimension by having them away from a wall. So what I like to do is suggest for them to find something, whether it be a training rack or a kettlebell rack, or something that shows a little insight on what the gym looks like. It's revealing a little personality, but it's not going to be distracting. Our subject is going to be the primary focus and frame. For this example, we've got the training cage behind us. We have some wall with some chalk work showing a little bit of culture and personality of this particular gym. And we're going to frame up in a testimonial style, so we can have Mike standing right in front of the cage. Testimonials, we suggest more commonly for somebody to be actually interviewing them, asking the questions, so that the client is not talking direct to the camera. It's a little more conversation style. So instead of them looking direct at the camera, we can actually position Mike almost at a 45 degree as if he were talking to somebody off camera and being pitched the questions. Just makes it more natural for them. So once we have our subject in frame, we have our background, we're going to basically compose and frame our subject in our viewfinder here. We're going to use the rule of thirds as placement of where we're going to place our subject into frame. And what that basically means is we're going to divide what we see in the viewfinder by thirds, and we're going to place our subject where those lines would intersect. So not directly in center of frame, but just to the left or just to the right. What's really cool about iPhones, a lot of common camera phones, they actually come with this feature already built into the phone. It's called grid overlay, and it basically does exactly what I mentioned. It divides the screen into thirds. So you can basically adjust our subject as such. All right? So we have them just about at that point. We've got a nice background, we've got the training cage, we've got that wall, we've got some nice space for our client. And again, he's going to be looking off camera and talking to somebody being interviewed. Next step is we're going to set up our light kit. I always suggest to start, set up your shot first and then bring the lights into element, just so you can avoid getting the light stand or anything in shot. So we have our 3-piece light kit. Again, we're going to go into how you should set these up, and what it really is going to allow us to achieve is soft lighting. That's what 3-point lighting helps to achieve best. If you think of any movie or TV show you've seen, lighting is absolutely helping depict the tone of the scene. It's almost consider it a character in the scene. If you think of any comedy movie you've seen, most comedy movies have a very particular level of lighting. It's everything's evenly lit. It's nice and bright. Dramas, horror films, lighting is obviously more dramatic. You're casting more shadow on the face, more shadow on objects. So lighting is absolutely a huge part of kind of helping to elicit that emotion in whatever you're shooting. So we suggest 3-point lighting technique because it's soft, even lighting around our subject. First light you're going to take, they're all identical, but this is just for terms. This is your key light, and we're going to set this up at a 45-degree angle on the right side of the camera. It could either be just slightly behind, as we see here, or it can be kind of level, but you never really want it in front because then you run the risk of actually putting it into frame. So we have this on the right side of Mike, and what it's doing is allowing a little bit of light to fill in on the right side of his face, filling in any shadows. We could see that we're getting a little bit of hotness from the interior lights, so if we can cut those just so we can see it a little more pronounced. So first light is our key light, and this is 45 degrees placed to just the right of the camera. It could be the right or the left, but you figured your first light that you establish is going to be your key light, and that is filling in the right side of Mike's face, eliminating any kind of shadows. We're next going to take this is our fill light. It does exactly what it sounds like. It's filling out the light on the opposite side of Mike's face. And by the way, these are both pretty much level with Mike's face in terms of height. It's just above the top of his head to kind of the upper part of his shoulder. Right? And we can see what's happening with the light. We've completely filled in any kind of shadow. He's now pronounced. He's filling out the frame nicely, looking beautiful. So last light is the backlight. Again, does exactly what it sounds like. It's allowing Mike to kind of pop off of whatever background he's in front of, and it's creating a nice edging around his, the back of his head, whatever's visible in frame. So I like to take this, and we tell our clients to just kind of raise it up, aiming down about 45 degrees. And this can be at his right or his left side, but obviously out of frame is key. So we have this behind him, about 45 degrees behind him, and we're going to always go back to frame, make sure that it's out of shot, which I believe it is. Yes, it is. Okay. So he's looking great. And again, he's going to be looking straight off of camera, pretend somebody's here, somebody in a client testimonial situation would be standing at this point, asking him questions, asking him about his experience. Not saying that that is the absolute, like you have to use that style, for your testimonials, or, there are going to be members that are comfortable with talking on camera, but I would never mix and match. I would never have some talking off camera and some talking to the camera in like a compilation style promotional video. It's just going to look weird and distracting.
Consistency from video, or in a single video you want consistency.
100%. 100%.
Gotcha.
Yep. So this is basically our shot, right? So we've got the visuals down, he's evenly lit. Things that you're looking for with these lights. Obviously be aware of any ambient light that's already existing in your gym. So any overhead lights, if you've got big doors open or big windows, be aware of those. If you could try to limit them as best you can, ideal. If you can't, sometimes you have to film in and around classes or anything like that. Then just go to where if you notice, we chose a section where there wasn't lighting right above his head, because it's obviously going to interfere with what we're doing with our lighting kit. So just kind of go in an area where you don't have any kind of harsh lighting coming from another source, so that you really get the effect of the 3-point kit. And that's basically what we have here. So lastly, what I would mention about the light kit is if you are getting too harsh of light, because everyone has different skin tones and everything, if you are getting too harsh of a light on somebody's face, there is a way to diffuse these further than what you see here. So what's great about these softbox kits, again, you could buy this on Amazon for about $100, but you could also make one for about half the price. They already come with diffusion material built on, but you can actually add more if it's too harsh on your subject. A bed sheet, white bed sheet, a t-shirt, it would literally achieve the same effect and would basically diffuse and cut down the amount of light coming out. But yeah, we've got a nice look here. Lastly, sound, just as important as absolutely everything else. You're not often aware of the ambient noise in and around your facility. I mean, if you think of the average facility is in a converted warehouse.
Oh yeah.
It's in a converted retail place, a converted garage. A lot of noise. That air conditioning noise. Heater, just people walking around. So you definitely have to be aware of that. Limit it as best you can, because the microphone is a lot more sensitive to picking up things than your ears.
Just do a mic check.
100%. Mic check. And same thing with just recording, record a few seconds, check your shot, make sure everything's looking good. But just as important is a mic check. Yeah. In this case, we have a lavalier mic on mic. And so I recommend this. It's the most directional source of picking up audio. And basically what we see here, okay? So it's basically a wired mic. They make wireless versions as well, but they're always going to be wired from the actual source. And it's clipped to the top of his collar. And it's basically, we want to make sure that it's kind of popped out a little bit. And again, it's right below his chin. It's going to pick up directional audio from what he's saying. It more so than a shotgun mic, which is more prone to picking up more ambient noise. Yeah. So that's hidden behind his shirt, by the way. Always, ask your subject to, loop it underneath so it's hidden and not distracting. And that's basically it. These go either directly to your camera source. They also can go into separate recording systems where you can record it into separate files. Ultimately, it's going to be either recording separate files or directly synced to your video.
Gotcha. All right, guys, go over to barbellbusiness.com/monkey. And what are they going to get there? What can they access?
They are going to get a more detailed guide of basically what we went over and in a video version. They're going to get an accompanying PDF, which shows the breakdown of this lighting diagram. Very simple setup. And they're also, as a bonus, we put together a video gear guide, which is we put exact references on the best types of gear that are extremely budget friendly and a lot of our clients are using.
Excellent. Yeah, so that's barbellbusiness.com/monkey. There's also a lot of other resources if you just go to barbellbusiness.com and click on resources. So, see you there.